Hello, Year 8 again. This is the second part of the video about the Year 8 shared text mid-term assessment. In the first video we talked about the learning intentions, we talked about how we're learning to understand how writers use words powerfully, we talked about the task, and we talked about the success criteria, how we're going to know if we're doing it well. Okay, I said in that video I'd show you an example of what we might mean. Well, here you will find a sneak preview actually of the text that's going to be used. Obviously you'll have a paper copy, you're not doing this on the computers, well, it's unlikely that you'll do it on the computer, so you'll have to imagine that you're writing the things that I'm making happen on the computer. If we go back to our success criteria, our skilled criteria, okay, we need to identify at least 3 words or phrases which create sympathy. So you're going to read this through. We'll have done some work in class about what some of the more difficult words mean, because it's a text from the 1840s, I believe. It's quite tricky. But we need to find phrases which make us feel sympathy. Now I'm going to go for when she's talking about her cold feet, and I'm going to say here, the torture. She's talking about how she remembers the torture of thrusting the swelled, raw and stiff toes into my shoes. Now, for skilled work, you'll identify that as a phrase which creates sympathy, but you'll also make some attempt at explaining why it creates sympathy. So you might say this creates this makes us feel sorry for her as it hurt. As she is so cold that it hurts her feet. Okay, so that would be just about in skilled work, really. You've done the task, you show that you can comment on uses of language. To get through to excellence, though, you need much more detail and sophistication. Let's see what it was. Comment on the effect of words and phrases in increasing detail, explaining precisely how they create sympathy. So let's see how we might extend this. What could we say? Well, really, you need to look at the key words. Phrases like this, use of the word torture shows how serious and unpleasant the feeling was. So you can see we've spoken about a particular word in the phrasing there. That's moving towards skill. But we can go on, we can carry on. The use of 3 adjectives, or should we say strong adjectives, in a row. And then we'd maybe do a mini quote: swelled, raw, stiff. Notice how, because I've missed a bit out in the quote, I've done an ellipsis, 3 little dots here to show that a bit from here has been missed out. And now we need a word. What could we say? Further emphasizes this and creates greater sympathy. Now, can you see how in this example we've gone from a fairly sort of simple, skilled but still simple explanation to a much more detailed and developed explanation? We're starting to hit criteria here, such as being more precise. So we talked about exactly the word torture and what the connotations of that were, how that made us respond. We put in more detail. We started to use appropriate terminology with the use of the fact that we know that it's an adjective, that the series of adjectives that they're using. So that's moving towards excellence. That's moving towards exploring excellence. So that's it, really. That's what you're going to have to do. You'll be well prepared for it. You don't need to panic about it. It's not a test which is designed to be horrible or unpleasant. We're not at a school like Jane Eyre. The whole point of it is that it's a learning experience for us. That you, at the end of it, that you get some targets and you get some help about improving this skill, which is a key skill area for English. And at the end of the process, you'll just feel more confident that next time you get a task like this, you'll be able to do it to a really excellent level.